Hi, so let's improve your FTP without working at threshold. And in 4 weeks, if you follow this plan, you're going to improve your FTP. No problem whatsoever. Now the problem is a lot of riders who start out and they start to use power, or maybe you've been using it for a few months, maybe even a few years, and you're not quite seeing the gains. The trouble is you're not understanding how the body works in terms of its resistance and tolerance to lactic acid. We're all the same, all human beings. About 4 millimoles of lactic acid build up per litre. And what will happen is the body just cannot remove it fast enough and you just blow up. So it's like having a boat with a hole in it. The water's coming in, under threshold, you can scoop it out with a cup. Suddenly, a great big hole appears and boom, too much water, you sink. And that's what happens to us when we go into that, what we call obla. There's no coming back from it. You've all had it. You've been up a hill. You've started pushing harder to keep up with your friends. Boom. Okay, you're puffing and panting and suddenly they disappear. Oh, what happened to you? And you feel like punching one of them square in the face. Okay, so here's how you're going to fix it. You're going to work at what we call sub-threshold, or what is commonly known now as sweet spot. I don't like that term because it sounds more like an erogenous zone, which sounds like it should be pleasurable, and that's the mistake. It's not. People think it's a bit softer than what it is. It's not. It would start off around about 85 to 88% of your FTP, and you want to be pushing it to about 92 and right up to 95, depending on your fitness. Now, if you download a training plan or from the internet, or you get something off an app, you're probably going to follow a standardized set of intervals that follow 20 minutes, maybe do 2 of them, then you'll build it up to 30 minutes, maybe then do 1 of them, 2 of them, and it will gradually build on these steady blocks with recovery periods and then join them together. Now that's okay, and you will see progress because again you're working at a level that's below the threshold, so the body is in a position where it can win. But the trouble is your body's super clever. Okay, it really is. And what it will do is it will find that steady state and it just won't move. Okay, it's always wanting steady state. It wants to stay at a healthy weight. Yes, believe it or not, it didn't want to put that weight on. Okay, it doesn't want to put weight on, it doesn't want to lose weight. It wants that steady state. It wants a temperature that's steady. It wants a fitness level that's pretty steady. It doesn't like change. So once you stay on those longer blocks, guess what? For some athletes, not going to make any progress. You're not actually going to change. So here's what you do. You're going to now inject tiny little injections of lactic acid into those subthreshold blocks. And you're going to do them for 10 to 30 seconds. And you're going to do them about 110% intensity. And you're going to do them regularly. I mean, no more than 2.5, 3 minute rests. But the rest periods have to be at subthreshold. So take your 20-minute block that you've been doing and now inject 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little surges into it. And what will happen is as you surge up, you'll get that little spike in lactic acid. When you return back to the sub-threshold, what you're asking your body to do now is to absorb that lactic acid, but keep working at this intensity. And what will happen is your body's ability to resist, absorb, and recover from those little surges goes up. So everything above the body, i.e. your threshold, moves. And we call it shifting your tolerance to the right. You can just go harder and longer without hitting obla. And that's how elite athletes work. Their resistance to obla is phenomenal, but they've spent years building up this resistance. Now the trouble with a lot of amateurs, and when we start, is the brain beats the body. Of course it does. That's your drive, your vigour, your ego. That's what gets you up in the morning when it's raining. That's what gets you out when it's cold. That's what puts you when you're tired, you've had a long day at work, you're still going to train. But what you got to understand, you got to let the body win. You got to work at a level that's slightly below what it can tolerate. Why? So that it can adjust. What are you like when you're in a new environment? If it's too much going on, if there's too much sensory feedback, the new boss is rabbiting on and giving you all these instructions, you just go, help me. I don't remember anything you said. It's the same with the body. Give it a little bit of information, but give it at a level that it can tolerate and it'll adapt. But then move it on at your pace. Move it on Kick it on. Now you do that, surging for 4 weeks, then retest your FTP. I guarantee you, your FTP goes up. It will fly up. Hey, I'll see you in the next video. You be sure to subscribe. You take care and stay safe.